Canelo Alvarez seems to have gotten back to his prime fighting condition, and now David Benavidez has called Canelo out to fight next. After seeing how Canelo handled Jermell Charlo, Jim Lampley thinks that Canelo needs to go on and fight David Benavidez or Terence Crawford. Jim stated, "One of the greatest assets is his chin, and it helps to set up everything else he does. David Benavidez is a logical opponent. He should fight David Benavidez. I mentioned to Crawford the other day that you're no longer pound for pound number one. Most people ranked Terence Crawford pound for pound number one. Canelo said, that's not right. I'm still pound for pound number one. I think he was probably thinking of that tonight too. There's a 21-pound gap between Crawford and Canelo, but I think if they could make a deal, find a catch weight, 154, 157, 160, somewhere between 147 and 168, the world would love to see the fight between the ultra-violent Canelo Alvarez and the ultra-violent Terence Crawford. That's potentially a great fight." Canelo thinks that David talks too much, but he definitely sees the fight happening sometime.
But I would love for you to knock out David Benavidez. Do you think that'll happen in the future?
Yeah, why not? Maybe happen in the future. Why not? The fight
he talks too much, though.
Yeah, talk too much. That's not the way to make a fight. That's why I don't pay attention.
Right.
I do my things and just watch my career and watch his career. I think it's not, for me, it's not pay attention to that things. I done a lot of things in boxing.
Paulie Malignaggi believes that the fight is long overdue, and he wants to see it next. Paulie stated, "Canelo sounded like he felt great, and he did look good, but I can't get a gauge on him unless he's in with a guy who's trying to win, and that wasn't Jermell Charlo at all. Are we gonna get the David Benavidez fight? Canelo's in a position where he can choose who he wants to fight. He's the money guy. I want to see Benavidez. Canelo versus Benavidez is the fight. I was impressed with Canelo's shot selection and creativity, but when you're up against a certain amount of resistance, are you still going to be able to show that kind of confidence? David Benavidez will commit to try and win the fight. Canelo now owes it to the fans to make the Benavidez fight." Eddie Reynoso was very happy with the performance that Canelo gave against Jermell, and he definitely wants to see Benavidez in the ring with Canelo again. Eddie stated, "I was very pleased with the performance because we showed good preparation. I would have liked him to knock him out, but Charlo is also a great fighter, an undisputed champion, and it's not easy. I'd like Benavidez or Bivol to come." In general, Canelo would rather not fight against another Mexican, but he thinks that Benavidez and his father are talking too much to get away with it.
When I say I don't want to fight Mexican, it's because I represent Mexico. And that's why. But I don't care. I fight anybody. And I fight all my entire life anybody. What do you think? I don't want to fight with one Mexico or Benavidez. But look, I hear his dad talking a lot of but look, what he's accomplished, nothing. One single champion, Anthony Dirrell. Please, don't disrespect myself. Please, guys.
When Deontay Wilder spoke with David, David mentioned that he wanted to face Canelo soon, but Deontay thought he should make other plans. Deontay stated, "Keep doing what you're doing. You're a monster. So are you thinking of going up to 175? I don't think so, but we'll see. I love watching David. He's got that big power, and he ain't afraid to use it. In boxing, we want to see the knockouts, and this man right here, he brings it. And you're going to expect that excitement of a knockout delivery. I think he should go up, and he has a great chance of dominating the next division light heavyweight as well." Mauricio Sulaiman definitely thinks this fight will happen in the future, and he expects it to be a big one once it's set up. He stated, "David Benavidez just won his right to be an official challenger in March. Then there's a sector that wants to push for that fight, and if it happens, it would be wonderful when it happens. I feel it is a little rash and irresponsible for those who push a lot. Yes, I think it will happen in the near future. Benavidez is the interim champion and official challenger of the division. Canelo has a free fight to look for the one he prefers and then against the official challenger. Canelo thinks that there are bigger challenges out there than Benavidez, though.
Beterbiev and Benavidez, who do you think is the biggest challenge for you?
Oh, Beterbiev.
better be up.
Yeah,
Why is that?
of course. Because he's a champion. He has something to offer me. He's strong. He's another way. He's a lot of things. A lot of things.
Tim Bradley actually thought Canelo would fight two different fighters after dealing with Jermell, and he doesn't think that Benavidez is one of them. Tim stated, "My guess is baby Charlo, the little Charlo Jermell, the bigger Charlo Jamal, and then Errol Spence. Those are 3 fights." Fans have claimed that Canelo has been avoiding Benavidez for quite some time now, and he's tired of people saying the same thing. Canelo stated, "Everybody says this same thing all my life. When I fight with Austin Trout, they say I'm ducking Trout. When I fight with others, they say I'm ducking Gennady Golovkin. I'm ducking Arislandi Lara. Every time I beat every single fighter, they say I have this other fighter. They find somebody else. I'm ducking nobody. I've been in this position a lot of times. I just do the fights that are the best for the fans." According to David, Canelo turned down a considerably juicy offer from his crew. David stated it was more than $45 million. That was the money Al Heyman and PBC were offering for the Canelo fight. I see a lot of people saying you don't make offers to the A side, but $45 million is a world of money. People want to see that fight. The company was backing me. That's why I thought we could make the fight happen, but they went in another direction. David isn't happy with Canelo's process, and he thinks that he needs to be checked.
I guess Canelo does whatever he wants. Nobody says nothing about it. I've been mandatory for the past 3 years, and, they don't bring that up. So, I don't know what it is. Like I said, my plan is just to keep winning, and eventually you're going to have to face it.
David is really tired of trying to force this fight to happen, and he thinks that it'll have to happen organically instead. David stated, "It kind of feels like it's sailing away, but if they don't want to make the fight happen, there's nothing I can do in my power to force the fight with them. I've been the number 1 in the WBC for one of the belts that he has for the past 3 years. I keep hollering and doing this stuff, but this stuff seems kind of whack to me. So for me, I'm just going to keep winning. If the fight happens, we're going to let it happen organically. But I'm going to keep beating people in front of me until there's nowhere for him to hide. Me and Canelo, I beat him. I definitely beat him. I feel like I have the tools necessary to hurt him. I'm not going to say that I'll stop him." Steven Espinoza gave credit to Canelo for the opponents he's been accepting, but he thinks that David might be a possibility for 2024. Steven stated, "There's a financial commitment. PBC stepped, we stepped up, but part of it is really the opponents. I gotta give Canelo credit because he could have coasted through this part of his career and taken on easy opponents for big money. Look, whoever wins in Benavidez and Andrade is going to make a pretty good case to be the next Canelo opponent, so that will be a lot of momentum, and that's going to be a pretty big statement for whoever takes that fight." David's father swears that the money isn't what matters in this potential fight, and he swears that he and his son have earned the opportunity. David Benavidez Sr. stated, "Give us the bare minimum. Give Canelo what he wants. We just want the opportunity. We have to prove ourselves first. Pay is not a problem. We will take the minimum. When everyone says payday, we don't give a damn about payday. We care about history." David Benavidez definitely wants Canelo next, and he thinks Canelo should be made to fight or be stripped.
The WBC has ordered Canelo to fight you next if you win this. So if you do win, would you force the WBC to strip Canelo if he doesn't fight you?
We would have to see. I think I want to fight Canelo, just to prove myself that I'm the best at 168. But if he doesn't want to fight, then of course that's the route we'll go. I've been mandatory for the past 2 fights, so it's my turn to fight for the title. But first things first, we're taking care of business on March 25th.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.